ABC Sport live from Suncorp Stadium at Lang Park, the home of Queensland Rugby League. Toowoomba meets Wests in the preliminary final of the 1996 Queensland Cup.
Just 3 teams left in the battle for the Queensland Cup, and this afternoon Wests play Toowoomba for the right to meet Redcliffe in next week's grand final. So it's a crunch time. The loser's out, the winner goes on into the grand final. And we're back at headquarters, which is good as well. Overcast conditions, but even so, we should be looking forward to a reasonably rain-free afternoon, we hope. And certainly Wally Fullerton-Smith hopes that. But let's look firstly at last weekend's results leading up to today. And West defeated South by 21 points to 8 in our knockout final, which we saw, of course, on ABC TV. And up at Toowoomba, Redcliffe defeated Toowoomba by 6 points to 0 in a game where defence was very much to the fore. And so, as a result, we had this clash this afternoon between Toowoomba and West. And Wally Fullerton-Smith, just looking at the at West's. As far as this game's concerned, they came through a knockout last weekend and did it well, very well against South. Can they do it again?
Well, that's a good point, Jerry. I think what they did is that they defended themselves very well. Didn't protect their lead as well as they probably, the coach Wayne Treleaven would have liked. But he said in the paper during the week that defence wins finals. And from Tony Devlin right to Anthony Seabold, the front rower, their defence is fairly solid. And they'll be looking at protecting their lead today if they get in front.
But they go into this game without their captain, Shane Vivian, and they'll miss him.
Well, it's a big blow to West, losing Shane Vivian, their captain, and one of their great workers in the back row of West. But I think what they've got, Parish Watts in there, who's a very good defender. He's played very well all year, coming off the bench, Jerry, and I think he'll do the job for them.
Hope the rain stays away for you, Wally.
You.
David Wright, looking at the Toowoomba team after a terrific battle last weekend. They didn't get the points, so they'd be coming in here very keen to get revenge on that game.
I'm sure you're right, Jerry. Of course, they were the minor premiers, so they'll feel a little bit hard done by having to try and get into the grand final now the tough way. But last weekend, they certainly weren't disgraced. They didn't get the points, but they went down by 6 points to 0 against Redcliffe. And, of course, the try that Redcliffe scored didn't even come until the 65th minute. So Toowoomba were right in that match. They also had a couple of very good opportunities to put points on the board, but got held up over the try line on 1 or 2 occasions, dropped the ball with the line open. So they're a very, very capable side. You don't end up being minor premiers without being a very good side. They've had to come to Suncorp Stadium, of course, this afternoon. They were hoping to have a home ground advantage. I don't think it'll bother them. I think they'll make the grand final against Redcliffe next week.
And a good crowd here as well to watch the Toowoomba lineup, with Kyle Warren returning because he was out, it seemed, earlier in the week, but he's had the bout of the flu, but he's fine. Peter Stenner on the wings, and Jeffrey Slater actually moves into the centre with Darren Lawson taking over that wing spot. Andrew Richards with Slater in the centres. Cameron Hamlin at 5'8", Damien Fry at halfback. Donnie Saunders leading the team as he's done so well. Tony Evans and Scott Kuhneman in the second row. Kane Spicer and Russell Vole make up the front row with Mick Jenkins. And there's the captain, Don Saunders. He's led Toowoomba extremely well throughout the year. He's an outstanding player and naturally will be an important player in this game.
The Panthers take the field, and of course, as we said in the opener, Shane Vivian, the captain, is not available today, so Jason Twist leaves them out. The Panthers line up Tony Devlin at fullback, James Brown and Mitchell Hines on the wing, Sam Smith and Chris Elliott are the centres, Peter Liddell and Jason Twist, a very good half pairing. And then in the forwards, there's Parish Watts. He's in for Shane Vivian. That's a blow to the Panthers. But Watts, also a very good player in his own right. Alan Whelan and Sean Valentine, 2 very good back rowers. And up front, Anthony Seabold, Dave Fuller, and once again, Dave Asplin starts the match with David Liddell, I'm sure, coming into play as the match progresses. Jason Twist, who's had a terrific season. He was out injured for the early part. James Brown there is, and he's played a great role, James Brown, in the kicking game for the Panthers. Jason Twist, the captain, has really run things pretty well so far for the Panthers.
Paul Oliver, the referee for this vital clash today. The winner goes straight into the grand final, which will be here live next Saturday afternoon on ABC television. And they will be able to call themselves the Queensland champions. So it's Wests ready for the kick-off. And you can hear the players getting themselves ready. James Brown to kick off. for the Panthers and get this preliminary final underway. So Toowoomba defending the northern end of Lang Park. Donnie Saunders, the captain, underneath the ball and has these runners ready to go. So the Toowoomba caught inside their own 20-metre line. And looking at the season's points, Toowoomba 372 for, 242 against. West have scored a lot of points, 412. They've had 277 against them.
Very good defensive effort that by Toowoomba, and they'll be calling on all those attributes this afternoon to keep the Panthers at bay.
Kane Spicer taking Toowoomba up to within 15 metres or so of the halfway mark. Tony Devlin taking that ball cleanly. Down on the sideline, Wally Fullerton-Smith. It's been a bit overcast, Wally, but the rain's staying away.
Yes, we had a few showers this morning, Jerry, but at present I don't think it'll affect either side. And at present there's no wind, which is probably good for me because I haven't been very good on the wind directions all year.
It swirls around here anyway, Wally, so you can take an each way bet.
It certainly is, and I'm sticking with West to win this match today.
And the ground looks tremendous as well. Lang Park or Suncorp Stadium looks in fine form as the pass goes to Twist. And then out now to Liddell and linking up with Sam Smith. But Smith is well and truly collared there. Good tackle right around the legs went Darren Lawson for Toowoomba. Kick through now by Jason Twist and it'll go into touch. So that's about 12 metres or so out. Just watching it go over the sideline was Andrew Richards.
Pretty tidy start here from both sides. There's Jason Twist, had to step back the other way to get his kick in. And then Richards decides to leave it go. He's got his ankle very heavily strapped. Richards only just back on the scene. And now a chance now for the Clydesdales. Loose head and feed. That ball didn't go anywhere near the middle, but they don't have to these days, I guess. Quickly put in and taken out. This time Lawson, Darren Lawson that is, comes in off that blind wing. Donnie Saunders. Both sides used their first lot of 6 quite capably and got a kick on the end. Toowoomba will be looking to do much the same again. Kane Spicer gets it up to 32 metres out. Strong defence in the middle of the ruck there on Mick Jenkins. He tried to run that angle back. Pretty versatile hooker is Jenkins. This time Hamblin also steps back to that right-hand side, puts it downfield. Devlin takes it on the bounce. Something he didn't have to do earlier when Saunders put it downfield. Good tackle that one by Tony Evans. This time Mitchell Hines skirts around quite nicely. If he could have looked on the outside, he had a loping Chris Elliott. Whoops, there's, oh, Parrish Watts just managed to get a hold of that. Neither side has made an error yet. Twist with plenty of time to decide what he wants to do. Whelan does like time to set himself at the defensive line, but they move pretty quickly to him. Jenkins was one. This time Anthony Seabold kicks the feet up. Can't get through the first line of defence. That's the 4th tackle. Oliver up over the ruck, points back to the defending side. And as he points back says, you're inside the 10. Now that's a tough penalty that, because if the referee elects not to be on the 10 metres in the run of play and actually points back, how do the players really know whether they're a half a metre offside or not? This one a chance for 2 points. You can see here, Oliver, there he is, just looks back at the defensive line, points to them. He's up over the ruck. I think that's a tough penalty, and I think the referee was out of position to call it.
The end result is that West have their first chance to put points on the board, first points of the game. And, well, penalties could be very important in this match, especially if you look at last week's clash. James Brown there with the ball lined up, but when you look at last week's clash between Toowoomba and Redcliffe, where obviously defence was a major part of the game, and we can expect that might well be the case today, David.
Yeah, I think you're right, Jerry. Both very good defensive sides, and there won't be too many breaks. Toowoomba made a number of breaks against Redcliffe last week, reportedly, maybe 4 or 5 line breaks, and didn't get any points on the board. Redcliffe made 1 or 2 and got that vital try. Having said the referee was out of position, sure, if the defence is up, 5 or 6 metres up, then sure, they're offside. But to me, there wasn't much in that. And without harping on it, I think that's a tough call. Now James Brown has a chance to penalise the Clydesdales even more. Kicked very well in recent weeks, Brown. Moves in. Hits it pretty well. Right down the high diddle. First points on the board for the Panthers. They lead by 2 points to 0 after 4.5 minutes of the match. How'd you see that, Wal?
Well, actually, I thought the referee would have let it go if the ball would have gone to the other side of the ruck. But I think it came to the ruck where he was pointing at their defence and ultimately penalised him.
Kyle Warren then with the kick-off, wearing number 4.
Huge kick.
Sure is, and Jason Twist taking it just inside the dead ball line and offloading it to Sibbald. And Sibbald running very strongly up, taking it 10 metres into the field of play. He might well have been had a bit of trouble getting it out into the field of play, but good work there, running very strongly onto the ball. So Dave Fuller moving in to be a dummy half, and carted forward now by Aspin, but he's forced backwards. Good defence as the Clydesdales move up very, very powerfully. Aspin now about 12 metres short of the halfway. So West's in possession, leading by 2 points to 0. Jason Twist, the danger man, offloading, and this time it's carted forward by Sean Valentine, and he's caught on the 5th tackle. They're still in their own territory. Brown then with a kick to see if he can drive it well down into Toowoomba's territory. The ball bouncing a bit awkwardly here for Kyle Warren, and he almost juggled it, but look at that beautiful tackle. Good follow through there by Chris Elliott. Peter Stenner going from dummy half and crossing his own 20-metre line as Toowoomba try to make use of the ball. Craig Scanlon caught about 20 metres short of the halfway, and the big Toowoomba forwards try to use their power to see if they can work their way up towards halfway and get it into West's territory to really start applying some pressure. So far, only an early part of the game, of course, as Tony Evans is caught with the ball. Back it goes to Donnie Saunders, the captain, and he did manage to find the ground before it went into touch, and so he picked up a bit of ground.
Bit lucky there by Saunders. Total miskick. That one wobbled right off the side of the boot. He must have taken his eye right off the ball, and was somewhat fortunate there to pick up the 15-odd metres. It'll still be loose head and feet though to the Panthers. Twist puts it in. Peter Liddell looks on the outside for a bit of support from James Brown. Tony Devlin prepared to take that next one forward. He's regretting it at the moment, I'd say. Strong defence that by Warren. Sean Valentine, crunching defence. And there was Evans and Saunders. Twist with a little bit of room to work across the face of the ruck, but the Toowoomba line held well there. They didn't take any dummies. They moved up. They cut down Twist's options, and really there was no more West runners to help Twist out either. This time Seabold just gets it into the Clydesdales territory, and that's the 5th tackle. Peter Liddell, bit of a chance here. They've got numbers if they wanted to run it. Twist aside, safety first at this stage of the game. Knocked on by Lawson.
He's ruled
surely.
knockback. He's ruled it knockback.
Well, that's incredible. I thought he had 2 shots at it, actually. I thought he even had 2 goes at it, and I thought they were both knocked on. The first one, maybe not. The second, I thought. The Clydesdales getting a little bit of fortune there, I feel. Russell Vole to play it. Toowoomba now to work it out of their own territory. They get a chance now to maybe get a little bit of attack ball. All the possession that basically both sides have had has been inside their own territory. That's the 5th tackle, so Toowoomba won't get much possession inside opposition territory. Kuhneman steps down the right-hand side, knocks a good little kick down. Devlin covers it pretty well. He's got some defence straight onto him, though. Quickly up there is Peter Stenner to knock him over. And a real arm wrestle wall so far with both sides. Pretty tidy. I don't believe I can recall an error so far by either side.
No, you're quite right, except for that maybe that possible knock on there from the Toowoomba wing of it. Yes, everyone's just filling themselves out, just waiting for someone to make a mistake, and I think the opposition team will then sort of capitalise on that.
You'll be glad to see that sunshine coming through, Wal.
Certainly am, but geez, I've been impressed so far with Tony Evans, the second row there for the Clydesdale. Great technique in front on defence, and he's sort of shaken a couple of the West players so far.
Yes, he's doing a good job wearing the headgear, Tony Evans, as Wests have it on the halfway line. And the kick now coming from James Brown, driving it well downfield. And Kyle Warren taking it in the in-goal area, but the chasers are there. And good especially Chris Elliott.
On ABC Sport, live from Suncorp Stadium at Lang Park, the home of Queensland Rugby League, Toowoomba meets Wests in the...
And then let's go, but Kyle Warren then kicks for touch. He doesn't pick up a lot of ground, so they're still 20 short of the halfway. And that's where the tap is taken by Scott Kuhneman. And now Russell Vole, up to within 12 metres or so of the halfway line. Toowoomba looking to score this week after they were unable to get across the Redcliffe line last week, and naturally after leading the competition throughout, they want to be in that grand final. Kuhnemann going from dummy half. Well, he would have liked to offload. Hamblin was there, but now Mickey Jenkins moves in to be a dummy half. Don Saunders, good player. Across the halfway he goes and caught 3 or 4 metres in West's territory. Now Fry out to Hamblin. Nice little kick by Hamblin. He should be able to regather. Warren's able to regather, and Hamlin's there. If he can get the pass, he doesn't need to give him the pass, but he's caught just short. He'll have to play the ball. Gets up and plays it. Surely they must score, but the pass has gone wild. Picked up eventually.
Last tackle.
Chance here. Well done, Mick Jenkins, but he's tackled
Offside.
and they get a penalty.
Never back on their try line with the Panthers, although they were scrambling back. Kyle Warren had a big decision to make, whether to pass or run. I feel he did the right thing in the end because Devlin read it very well. He felt Warren was covered and Devlin went away from him. This is the play after that. Toowoomba were hampered by offside play from the Panthers, and they'll take the tap now and see if they can put on more points.
Yes, and charging towards the line now goes Kane Spicer. So he's caught just short. Kuhnemann in at dummy half. A couple of options there, and Vol unable to get through. They're 8 metres short of the line now. They're lining up to take the pass. It goes to Saunders. He's able to offload to Kyle Warren again, but Warren is caught still 6 or 7 metres short of that line. Can they do it this time? Saunders able to get the pass away, but there's nowhere at all for Darren Lawson to go. So still they're caught short of the line. Richards in there to be a dummy half. Fry can't get through the defence. Good defence from West, but you wonder whether Toowoomba are really making use of the ball. Saunders with a little grubber kick and followed through, but West's onto it first. And so the defence of West holding out there. They certainly were tried, but you just wonder, David, whether Toowoomba might have been able to just make better use of the ball.
Well, they were far too flat, Jerry, for mine. They never got deep to try and clear the ruck, and that allowed the Panthers to get up very quickly and nullify any attack plays. They've still got a restart of the tackle count. It'll be interesting to see whether they do get a little bit deeper this time. Once you get down inside that 10-metre zone, obviously the defence is going to be in your face, and you must get depth in your attack, otherwise you really don't have too many opportunities. Now the Panthers. James Brown gets a fair bit of height into this one. Now the Clydesdales to bring it back. That's Kane Spicer, and he gets it to 30 metres. The dummy half is Kuhnemann. He spends a fair bit of time there too. Tony Evans now. Beautiful attacking position, midfield, just outside the 20. There's Kuhnemann. Kuhnemann looks to be playing in the dummy half position most of the time. Clydesdales now in good shape again. They've got options left and right. Halfback Fry, out to Hamlin. Plenty of numbers here. There's Jenkins, certainly not playing as a dummy half. Mickey Jenkins, very capable as a back rower as well. This time Kyle Warren to come up and do a bit of extra work. They've got it to a couple of metres out. That's the 5th tackle. Let's see what their options are this time. Saunders put it in goal area before. He's done the same this time, but he's just put too much on it. Tried to angle it across for his support players, just put too much on the ball. And we've got a replacement now coming up for the Peter Stenner. Looks like he's going off. Here's it on replay. Saunders, who got the in-goal area on the preceding 6, failed to do it on that occasion. Relieves the pressure on the Panthers. They've got a 20-metre tap.
And well read by James Brown too, because there was a bit of pressure on him. He knew the support players were coming through for Toowoomba. Well, the player's going to be caught out here.
Saunders it is as well.
Yep.
Only a caution and a penalty. High shot. Let's have a look. Dave Liddell, who's just come on the field. No doubt Saunders was above the shoulders. And a penalty via Paul Oliver going to the Panthers. They've been under a bit of pressure over the last few minutes. And now they get a chance to get out of their own territory. Again, I don't think we've seen a drop ball yet, Jerry. I think the standard of the match, 15 minutes old, has been first class.
Well, it's been a terrific standard competition, and we would hope that in these finals, especially these crucial ones, that would be the case. And this is probably a good example of just how good the competition has been. Two good sides. Twist now. Getting it away to Liddell, and good hands here, and a chance for West as it goes back to Chris Elliott, and he makes it up to the 20-metre line into Toowoomba's territory. Good work by West, and now Devlin getting it away to Twist, and then the long cut-out pass, and Whelan turning it nicely back inside, and caught with the ball is Dave Liddell, only about 12 metres out now from the Toowoomba line. Jason Twist, he's dangerous, especially when he steps, and back inside he goes. That's the 5th tackle, though. So Liddell in at dummy half, and the pass away, kicked through, but taken nicely in the in-goal area. Can Stenner get into the field of play? No, he can't. So good work by West, and they'll receive the ball again.
Probably the best attacking passage of play we've seen. Great set piece back here on the halfway line to open things up. A couple of dummy runners initially. There's Stenner that comes through to save the day for the Clydesdales. They'll have to take a bit of their own tonic now. The Panthers have forced goal line dropouts on them on this occasion, but of course the Clydesdales have done it to West a little bit earlier.
That was a great tackle by Cameron Roper as well, following that through and ensuring that Stenner was caught in the in-goal area. The dropout by Kyle Warren, taken by Liddell, Peter Liddell. And so now it's Roper himself, charging forward. He's got plenty of energy and has a reasonable amount of size in the body, not a lot of height. Now a good strong run here by Parrish Watts. And again, West get to within 12 or 13 metres or so of the Toowoomba line. Jason Twist leaves out Whelan, gets it away to Liddell instead. Now away to Elliott. Nice offload by Elliott, but West still caught 10 metres short of the line.
Penalty, stealing the ball.
Yeah, James Brown having the ball stolen from him, not allowed up, and so a penalty going to West, only 10 metres out.
Here it is again, not being allowed to get to his feet, although it did look there that Sam Smith may have actually lost it as he was trying to wrestle his way to his feet. Referee telling Captain Donnie Saunders there that he wants the tackles down. I'm not 100% sure whether it was Saunders again the culprit, but as captain, perhaps a general warning. Tap now to be taken by the Panthers. Great attacking opportunity, and they have looked dangerous in the last couple of minutes. This is Roper. We've got a set piece coming up here. They've gone for the first ruck to pretty close to midfield. Couple of players in motion now. Back the blind side. There's Jason Twist. Lets a couple go. Looks on the outside there for Devlin. Well read, though, by the Clydesdales defence. That's their first little set piece of play. Alan Whelan now to try and go straight through. He does like to look on the outside, step and charge at the defence. He's got him a couple of metres out. Back on the inside there, David Liddell. He's only 1 metre out now as Fuller turning back on the inside. Fuller at dummy half. There's Twist. Twist looks back on the inside to Parrish Watts. Good cover defence though by Saunders. That's the 5th tackle. Last throw of the dice here for the Panthers. That's been a rebound.
Should be 6 to go.
Well, he's decided he wasn't played at. It was actually kicked into him and merely a rebound. The crowd, the Panthers crowd not liking. Let's have another look. Interesting. Perhaps the referee didn't quite see there that Mickey Jenkins came up and almost kicked the ball through. Could easily have been a 6 to go play, but ultimately I thought knocked on by David Liddell anyway. This time Jenkins, punishing defence, pops the ball out the back door but puts his own teammates under pressure. Jenkins suggesting the ball had been stripped from him, asked the referee for a restart of the tackle count, but he wouldn't have anything of it. Richards does seem to be somewhat hampered by an injury. He's only just back. Strong ruck played this by Russell Vole. That's the 5th tackle. The Clydesdales didn't get it too far out of their own territory, but that's helped them. Towering kick, and Devlin slips over it at the critical moment. He's cost another 20 metres. Just what the Clydesdales were after. They've got a good chase too. 6 players across the field that confront James Brown. What a good result that was. Don Saunders kicked that ball from 65 metres away from his opponent's try line. Got that vital roll on and has trapped now the Panthers inside their own territory. James Brown. This time Seabold breaks the first tackle. In comes Fry though to try and put him to ground. Cannot. Ultimately now Seabold finally gets knocked to ground. Twist, he likes to search across field. Looks like on the inside to Valentine. Pops a pass up beautifully to Peter Liddell. Liddell through the gap. Good defence by Kyle Warren. They wanted some extra support play there, the Panthers. That's the 5th tackle. Sam Smith chips that little one over the top. Should be covered though by Lawson. He just dives onto the ball, but again, good work this from the Panthers as they take the ball over 80 minutes. That's striked out at the play the ball, 6 to go. And Stenner finally gets a hold of it and plays it.
Yes, Toowoomba now caught with the ball, Damien Fry. And we've seen some great football in this match so far, even though we haven't seen a try scored. 2 points to 0 in favour of West over Toowoomba, but it's knock on now. So there's a mistake and a big reaction too coming. Was that Scott Kuhneman there?
I think it was Paul Sutton who actually knocked
right.
on.
Yes, he's
come on fresh. Sutton, the first handle of the ball. Wasn't an ideal pass out in front of him a little bit, but here's a great chance for the Panthers.
Certainly is. So Jason Twist to feed the scrum. for the West Panthers, just 23 metres out from the line. And Twist going by himself, although there's a man alongside. He can link up with him, and Elliott is caught just about 8 metres short of the line.
What a great tackle that by Fry. He had to wrap him up and did.
Certainly did now. Running onto the ball is Parrish Watts. And West are just short of it, only about 5 metres out now from the line.
Trouble on the left.
Keep it going to the left, and David Liddell trying to step back inside, but he's tackled just 2 or 3 metres short. So at dummy half, Dave Fuller turns around, sends it out wide to Smith, but he can't get through either. Good defence from the Clydesdales. West throwing everything at them. Seabold, the big man, can he get through? Steps a nice pass back. Sam Smith again is going backwards. And so West just can't get through this good solid defence.
Good tackle.
Played now. Liddell with the kick across field. Here's a possibility from Mitchell Hines on this side, but it's taken beautifully by Darren Lawson in the in-goal area. Lawson takes it, and so Toowoomba are able to bring it up to the 20 for their attack.
Great defence that from the Clydesdales. Well, they were desperate in defence there.
They certainly were. It's interesting to see that West are really attacking Toowoomba's right-hand side.
So it's Toowoomba now, and caught with the ball, Paul Sutton.
Remember last week too, the Panthers got 2 tries from crossfield kicks, so they've used that very well in recent weeks. Lawson had that one pretty well covered because it was just a little bit too deep for the chasers to get a hold of it. Or awkward pass that one up there, but they've got away with it. Pass out this time to Lawson, I think, again. Darren Lawson it is. Clydesdales, well, they're throwing some panic-type passes, really. They don't seem to have a great deal of cohesion. Sutton gets a hold of that one. The ball's been on the ground a couple of times, but they've got away with it. That's the 5th tackle. Saunders now to knock it down into the corner. Nice little kick it is, too. And Devlin just having a bit of trouble holding his feet. There's a couple of players that have slipped over a little bit earlier when Twist made a break. One of the Clydesdales defenders slipped from the base of the scrum. Very, very lush conditions out there on Suncorp Stadium. Now the Panthers to try and bring it out. Mitchell Hines, nowhere to go there. Wall of defence. 2-0 the score at the moment. We've got 18 minutes up to half-time. Craig Smith's on there now for the Panthers. Dave Fuller at dummy half. There's Seabold, who's played strongly so far. Kuhneman goes underneath, but he breaks that tackle of Kuhneman. Saunders is in there to effect the tackle along with Sutton. That's the 5th tackle. Twist, awkward one on his ankle. That one's been touched. That's not, everyone's back onside. Nicely onto it though, Damien Fry. He was under a bit of pressure from Peter Liddell. Just managed to get there in time after the kick had been charged down. All attack players back onside. There's that awkward one for Twist. Just gets the kick away. Hamlin it was who blocked it. Good chance now for the Clydesdales to go back on the attack.
Yes, and they're already in West territory. So Kane Spicer, the whopper, has caught 12 metres in the Panthers' half. Kuhneman and Fry setting it afield, stepping back inside is Paul Sutton. And that's the 5th tackle for Toowoomba. So we should see a kick coming here. Look across for Saunders, and he puts it across field this time.
Good kick.
The follow-through's there. Devlin, who's been having a few problems back there, is able to take this one, remain in the field of play. Darren Lawson is up and to meet him, and so is Hamblin. And so Wests are pinned back on their own territory. They've got to really get it away from there. And plenty of work ahead of the Panthers at the moment. This is Craig Smith. Good work by Smith, showing his strength, taking on the defence, and not worried about the fact that they were right up there as soon as he got the ball. Now Cameron Roper shows his strength too. And a couple of good tackles there as far as West are concerned, and now Twist, Kuhneman making sure that he goes to ground. 8 short of the halfway on the 5th tackle. James Brown with the big kick, might be too big, and it goes out on the full. So a mistake from James Brown, and so the scrum will come back in West territory, or the changeover rather, and so Toowoomba will receive the ball 10 metres in West territory. Good position for them.
Great chances for the Clydesdales now. They've had some good opportunities but haven't been able to capitalise to date. This time the big fellow in Kane Spicer gets it to 35 metres out, midfield. Fry claps his hands, he wants it quickly, he's got it. There's Saunders, back on the inside, turns one back in. Great attacking position now for Toowoomba. That's Fry, lets one go, looks on the outside to Hamlin. Hamlin also lets one go. There's Richards. That's good defence, though, from the Panthers. Read it well. They had a lot of width in their attack there, Toowoomba, but ultimately the Panthers still had two defenders on the outside man. Interesting that West don't play a very condensed line of defence. They're one of the few sides in the comp that actually do that. This time up the middle further. Some good support play there from Darren Lawson. Now Saunders. Saunders, a little grubber kick through. He's got it into the in-goal area again, but there's Devlin. Devlin on the spot. He doesn't slip this time, but managed to stumble forward. Devlin does well to also break further out of his own in-goal area and gets it to 18 metres out from his own try line. Peter Liddell brings it forward. Under a bit of pressure here. Saunders looking for that in-goal area. Sweeping across. Here comes Tony Devlin. Beat one, beat another. Breaks away from that attempted tackle. And now the Panthers have got it out to almost 40 metres away from their try line. Roper, great tackle that one. Once again, the tackling machine in Tony Evans. Good kick downfield, turned Kyle Warren around. Warren loped back after. Chris Elliott's had a great chasing game today. And Elliott's there again, 4 on 4. Elliott's made some great chases and tackles out of there, but then they've given away a vital penalty here, not allowing Warren to get to his feet. And a penalty, which he might have even been kicking out in the play of the ball, not releasing.
Yes, David, both teams are defending the kicking game very well, aren't they? They're getting right up there and they're chasing those kicks very well.
And there's been some good kicks to chase after too. Once you get it over the fullback's head, you've obviously got a good opportunity to pin them inside their own territory.
Chris Elliott is one who's done tremendous chasing for West and has certainly given them the chance of pinning Toowoomba down. Can they now, though, as it's carted forward by Bolt, about 20 metres or so short of the halfway line. Kuhneman, a dummy half, goes to the right to Fry. Sutton now. What good defence again, this time from David Liddell. Peter Liddell, rather, moving up and pushing him backwards. And that's the sort of defence that can win these sorts of games. Tony Evans, after doing tremendous work in defence, takes on the opposition too. Saunders leading from the front and across the halfway he goes. Gets a nice pass away to Kuhneman and now Fry. And Fry has caught 15 metres in West territory on the 5th tackle. 2 points to 0 in favour of Wests. Nothing in the game so far. Kuhneman running for a while from dummy half. Sutton trying the quick kick. And going back for it is Mitchell Hines. And again some good chasing. And Devlin is able to get away from the defence though and makes it up almost to the 20-metre line.
We're starting to see now Toowoomba put a few passes together. Good work it was a couple of tackles ago with Saunders going up the middle of the ruck. Look for Kuhneman and then Fry, so they're starting to look dangerous as well. Whereas the Panthers have been the ones who looked most threatening up until then.
Dave Aspin playing the ball. Twist, Jason Twist. And it's obvious that the defence is going to be on him and players like Alan Wheeland as well. Now Seibold. Can't quite make it to the halfway, and that's the 5th tackle. So it's been a good set of 6 for Toowoomba as it goes to Twist now. And he tries the driving kick. Kyle Warren in good position for this, though. By himself, virtually, or sort of running away, basically, from Darren Lawson. Lawson going in to be a dummy half. They're on the 20. And plenty of work in front of the Clydesdales.
He's injured Lawson too, I think. There's a penalty that's going to go to the Clydesdales, but Lawson clutched at his leg as he came out of that dummy half position. He's limping away now. The penalty has gone to the Clydesdales. Interesting to just check the penalty count at the moment. The referee has been called on to blow the whistle on a number of occasions. There's the replay with Lawson being injured.
Yes, the penalty's currently 4-2 in favour of Toowoomba over Wests.
Very important part of the game at this present time with 10 minutes to go before half-time.
And Toowoomba on the charge across the halfway line. It's an opportunity for them. Kuhneman offloading. Peter Stenner and now Saunders. Sutton tackled just short of the 10-metre line in West territory. And you can see the urgency in the West defence as well as they get back. Now it's Slater trying to make some ground close to the stand. Kuhneman going from dummy half is able to offload the pass. Now Saunders, beautiful offload from Saunders to Sutton, and then a nice pass back inside to Peter Stenner. Can he keep it alive? Yes, he can. And only just holding onto it, Darren Lawson turning back inside. He's tackled just 3 or 4 metres short of the line. So now Toowoomba ready to really throw the ball. That's certainly what they should be looking at doing. Lawson with the long pass. Good work by Sutton. Away it goes to Slater. Back inside he goes. He's able to keep it alive to Sutton. Sutton getting close to the line. Away it goes. Lawson, can he get there? No, he can't. Sean Lawson forced in a touch just short of the line.
West have actually taken in a touch, Jerry. He threw the pass back on the inside. James Brown got a hold of it, and then the cover defence it was that ultimately came across. That's Sean Lawson, fires it back in, and hard luck there for James Brown. He had nowhere else to go but across the touchline. And now a chance for a back-to-back six-tackle play in great attacking shape for the Clydesdales.
Well, David, yeah, I'd like to see him use a few more options now. Clydesdales, they look very ordinary in the attack, particularly down on their on West line.
A lot comes from this man, Saunders. He likes to fire those pass up. That's a good pass up to Kyle Warren. Can't get away, he's lost the ball. Onto it comes Mitchell Hines, and there's another chance gone begging. Knocked on though by Hines. Well, could they get another chance? This could be the Clydesdales' day. You don't often get this opportunity. The pass there, or the ball knocked out there from Kyle Warren. I thought he would have lost it forward in that play. The referee thought otherwise. The ball was still alive. Mitchell Hines is knocked on. Here come Toowoomba again. This time out of the base of the scrum. The pass, he's knocked it on, he's knocked it down again. That is unbelievable. Saunders has been injured as well. A penalty has gone to Toowoomba. The West players can't believe it. They've got two players down injured, the Toowoomba boys. He didn't play the ball properly. The signal from the referee. Unbelievable sequence of events there. Toowoomba have got two players injured. Peter Stenner goes out of the base of the scrum. Richards couldn't handle it. There's Saunders getting injured and could be injured bad as well. Liddell got up quickly. The referee is saying you should have played the ball. I don't know why he should have, because Saunders certainly couldn't make a tackle on him.
Oh, you're exactly right there, Dave. There was play on as far as I was concerned.
Well, Toowoomba, what a passage of play. They've had two scrums. They've dropped the ball on the first tackle from both, and now they've got two players down injured. This could be a very dark minute.
Yeah,
for
Saunders
the
and Richards,
Clydesdales.
I think, is the other one who's down.
Or is it, yeah, Richards, and Richards up to his feet as well. So perhaps they're going to get away without any bad injuries. And not only that, how lucky is this? 2 points right in front for Kyle Warren to try and add the first points for the Clydesdales. 8.5 minutes to go. The Panthers lead 2-0. The defence has been very, very tight, Well.
Oh, well, it certainly has, but I think the Clydesdales are just rushing things a little bit in their attacking play, particularly down on West line. You know, they've got to wait for the opportunities and work towards them. But, you know, they haven't sort of really worked to any ideal pattern there, and to break up the West defence. Probably something to do with that Gary Lawrence will have to look at half-time.
Cardinal seems to drop the ball twice directly from a scrum. Now Kyle Warren. Should be pretty easy to just get boot to ball here, right in front. Chips it over. No problems. 2-0, or 2-2 now, I should say. Toowoomba and West, it's locked up with 7.5 to go, up to half-time.
Well, we were saying earlier that it was likely that it was going to be very difficult to score tries, and it's certainly proving that way, with terrific defence from both teams and a wonderful rugby league match. I know people like to see plenty of tries scored, but this is an example of the fact that you can see some terrific football with both sides just trying desperately to get the breakthrough. Kick-off taken by Kuhneman and offloaded to Ross Murray, who's come on and crossing his own 20-metre line. This is Craig Scanlon now. So Toowoomba looking to make good use of the ball. Mickey Jenkins, not in his usual role of dummy half, getting the pass away though to Jeffrey Slater, and he's caught just short of the halfway as Toowoomba really starting to get a bit of momentum going. And Slater takes it well into their half now, where the ball is played to Kuhneman. This is the fifth tackle, and the kick by Saunders might turn out all right. Will it? Devlin's going to let it go across the touchline, just about 7 or 8 metres out from the line.
Well, there are a number of people who call for a rule change in the game where the players just stand and wait for the ball to go into touch. I thought Devlin should have served his side better to actually pick this up and run it up. Instead, he'll take loose head and feed. And the Panthers now with a chance. There's Devlin. He's played reasonably well. As expected, the Panthers have won the scrum. That's Big Sam Smith. gets it almost to the 20-metre line. Of course, by Devlin allowing that to go in a touch. There's Twist dashing out a dummy half. It's a good run too. And not only that, catches the Clydesdales inside the 10. The crowd, and there's quite a few that have come down from the Downs to watch today's game. Quite elated with that.
Actually, they brought down 6 buses have come down from the high country.
They're all very disappointed, of course, that they didn't retain their home match for the finals. I think this decision, though, was the correct one. There's Seabold, strongly takes it forward. He's had a good game, Anthony Seabold. Finally, over the top was Kuhneman to stop him, but it took plenty to try prior to that. David Liddell. All of a sudden, the Panthers have gone up a gear. They think they're a bit of a chance here to perhaps add the first try. Twist comes this way, goes back the other way to Fuller. Fuller out there to Parrish Watts. Good defence, though, from the Clydesdales. Nowhere to go on that blind side after a little switch. Twist, long pass out to Peter Liddell. Another long one out to Elliott. Elliott has done some great defence. Turns Mitchell Hines back on the inside. Passes it up nicely to Peter Liddell. Good cover defence, though, from Sutton to make sure he couldn't stand. There's David Liddell. He goes forward and gets it 5 metres out. There's still 2 tackles. No, this is the last tackle in this set of 6. Good chance that they can get it very wide to the left. Twist puts it straight up in the air. Underneath is Warren. The big man goes high, takes it well. Under pressure. And he will diffuse the situation. And they'll bring it out quickly through Kuhneman to take the tap. There's still a couple of Panthers who went back onside. The big fellow there in Russell Vole gets it to 10 metres out from the 20-metre line.
There's terrific urgency coming into the game as well. Perhaps both sides wanting to make sure that they use these last few minutes of the first half to try and get that first try.
It can be so psychologically important if you can add points right on half-time. 2-2 at the moment, and 4 minutes up to half-time. Hamlin goes across, looks back on the inside for Jenkins, ducked under that swinging arm from David Liddell. Kuhneman fires the pass straight back now to Hamlin. Hamlin gets a good kick away. Devlin races across to get it on the full, showed that urgency as well, and then strongly back to those couple of defenders. Both sides realising the importance of these minutes, the final minutes up to half-time.
David, that's the key on catching the ball on the full. You make an extra 20 metres.
Devlin certainly did that. He was very keen to get it on the full.
West then, though, still 15 metres short of Toowoomba's territory, so there's a bit of work in front of them. But good run there by Liddell. Now Jason Twist. Ball left behind there. Sam Smith able to pick it up and getting it away to Brown. Stepping back inside. He had a tremendous game last weekend, James Brown. He was our man of the match. That's the 5th tackle, though, so we'll see the kick coming from Liddell. And looking for the touch line. 20 metres out, he finds it.
Quite a high standard first half. Both sides realising the importance. Preliminary final, here's the kick again from Peter Liddell. Preliminary finals, I mean, nobody wants to get this close to grand final day and miss out. So there is absolute desperation here from both sides as they battle to make next week's grand final against Redcliffe. And of course, that'll be at Suncorp.
2.5 minutes left in the match. Toowoomba 2, West 2 left in the first half, I should say. And nothing between the two sides. Toowoomba get the penalty, though.
A differential penalty. I think premature striking, I think it may be. We don't see that very often. Yes, there's the signal from the referee. Foot up in the scrum. Let's have a look. You could certainly see a foot strike out. And it actually struck at the ball, perhaps even before it was fed. Well, that was on your side. How'd you see it?
Well, yeah, I thought it was sort of, neither here nor there, really. That's the scrum penalty. I think he's looking for an excuse to blow a penalty.
Well, Toowoomba have a chance then as the clock ticks down to the last 2 minutes. Paul Sutton is caught on the halfway line. Can they reorganise and see if they can score this very elusive try? Nowhere, though, for Kuhneman to go. And he's caught. Now, Hamlin holding up the pass and getting it out wide there to Kyle Warren coming into the back line. Now, Mickey Jenkins does exactly the same. It's that momentum that you're able to build up, but that's the 5th tackle, so we'll see a kick this time, and it only just gets to Hamlin. Field goal attempt by Hamlin looks not too bad. He's got it. So Toowoomba take the lead with the clock saying 1 minute to go. It's now 3-2 in favour of Toowoomba over West. So that gives them some sort of a psychological boost, I guess. If you can't score the try, at least you can lead at half-time. And here we see it on replay, and he had to reach out to pick up that ball, and it was a tremendous kick by Cameron Hamlin, and as a result, Toowoomba now lead by 3 points to 2.
Well, that's great thinking by Hamlin, because he really wanted to, one, get the points on the board, and that's got their noses in front, but also it stopped West getting another use of the ball. They've got now 40 seconds up to half-time. I'm sure the Clydesdales will just shut things down in that period of time. They've come up with a vital 1 point lead up to half. That's a terrible play the ball, but a penalty is going to go to the Clydesdales. They certainly have been advantaged in that area. And the referee signalling there that the markers were not standing square on, and therefore interfering in the play the ball. Jason Twist, the skipper, comes up to query the decision. Wow, have a look at that, 8-3 to the Clydesdales. That's a handy advantage in a match this tight. And there's an indication just how tight things are. Neither side wanting to give the opposition a chance to get possession at this late stage as Hamlin throws a dummy. He's tackled, and the lead at half-time is 3 points to 2 in favour of the Clydesdales.
And that brings you back to the times when tries were worth 3 points, isn't it? You don't see a scoreline of 3 all that often, so 3-2 in favour of Toowoomba over West as the Toowoomba team leaves the field. And really, it's been an interesting first half, a very tough first half, and much will depend on how much it's taken out of both these teams, because the second half, and especially the last 10-15 minutes, could be a time when the strength will be called on. So at half-time here, a very close match in the preliminary final. The winner will meet Redcliffe next weekend. It's Toowoomba 3, West 2. Will be back shortly.
Our shameful institutions. Is the real madness that we have them at all?
Some staff bash residents.
A number of attempted rapes.
When she's got stitches in her, she's got scars all over her.
Oh, I wish to God that Clive had never gone to that place.
Chris Masters' Asylum, Monday, 8:30, 4 Corners.
On ABC, Over the Top with Hugh, a story of Brisbane and its people, as told by successful author Hugh Lunn.
Hugh Lunn's story is average, ordinary. It's the story of hundreds of thousands of Australians. It's just he has the gift for writing it down.
With all the memories of a past not so long ago, an ABC Queensland special, Over the Top with Hugh, 6 o'clock Tuesday on ABC.
Sunday, September 1st is Father's Day, and your ABC Shop catalogue is full of quality gifts with books, videos, CDs, audio tapes, and T-shirts. Your ABC Shop catalogue is available now from all ABC shops and centres. For product home delivery, call 1300 36 0111.
Where else would you see Roads of Africa? His lust for power.
We possess a very large part of the world indeed.
Set nation against nation. Where else? For Baz Luhrmann's La Boheme. Only on ABC.
You know your places! God be with you all!
Kenneth Branagh in the award-winning movie Henry V.
In the rotunda, Bullfinch left room for 8 huge murals of scenes from American history.
American Visions, a journey through America's art with Australian Robert Hughes. And Where Else for Jane Austen's Pride and Prejudice.
I had not known you a month before I felt you were the last man in the world whom I could ever marry.
Where Else? Only on ABC.
Nothing in it at half-time, 3 points to 2 in favour of the Clydesdales, and we can expect a very tight second half as well as both these sides battle out to try and make the grand final next week against Redcliffe. Let's have a look at some of the statistics and we'll see, Wally, just how tight things have been. Perhaps that's one of the biggest differentials, the fact that the penalties favour the Clydesdales 8-3.
They certainly are, and a lot of those penalties have been in great positions for the Clydesdale in that they've been defending their own line. So that's certainly helped them out.
It has. Not a great deal in the tackle. Let's have a look at some other statistics. Time in possession, while the Clydesdales have had a slight advantage there as well.
Yeah, that's interesting to see. Now, obviously, Gary Lawrence will be speaking to them at half-time about using better options in attack, because they seem to be a bit lost when they get down there, and obviously turning the ball over in critical areas of the tackle count.
Good indication there too is the line breaks. Toowoomba have made twice as many line breaks as the Panthers, but they haven't been able to capitalise, haven't been able to put points on the board. We haven't had a try in the first half, but I'm sure in the second half both sides will start to find a few extra little chinks. Having said there haven't been any tries, there's been some good breaks, and Toowoomba have been one of those better sides in that regard. They've made some good breaks. Saunders has been one of the key players on a lot of occasions, and Wally, we see here this little chip kick over the top by Hamlin was a very good one. Kyle Warren gets a hold of it. I thought Devlin did very well there because he realised Mitchell Hines had Warren covered, and then I felt from this occasion the Panthers got offside, but I thought that if Toowoomba had got back a little bit deeper, they would have created more opportunities for themselves. And while, as you've said on a couple of occasions, they really haven't taken opportunities down in that area of the field, and I think mainly because they haven't been deep enough in attack. Well,
that's right, David. I quite agree with you there. The thing being is that with that break that we just saw on TV there, very low pass from dummy half, which made a big, made it impossible for Toowoomba to score, and they would have scored for sure if it was a good pass from dummy half there, but West were up too quickly. But they was so successful, that little chip over the top. It's a wonder they didn't use that more often. And I'm sure that Gary Lawrence will be addressing that at half-time.
Well, yeah, because West don't play a sweeper. Jason Twist doesn't sit in behind the line, so they are vulnerable in that area. But the Clydesdales weren't the only ones who made some good breaks. The Panthers also in the first half, they did pretty well themselves. They moved the ball around pretty well, and they were quite capable in going on the attack. This time, Roper. He takes it forward pretty strongly, a couple of settlers, and as we said, there hasn't been too many opportunities created. Parrish Watts gets it in a bit closer. There's really been some strong defence from both sides. Neither of these sides stacked their defences in real tight. Twist holds that pass up a couple of times. Peter Liddell out to Elliott. Sam Smith, who's been attended to pretty well for most of the game. He wasn't allowed up quickly to play the ball. Actually, then he got a penalty for his side for a stealing action in that, and they got another good opportunity to go on the attack, but they couldn't crack what has been a very good Clydesdales defence. And once again, a little bit later on, we saw some more good attack from the Clydesdales. We've seen some good attack, but really when they get near that try line, I don't believe there's been enough depth from either side, and that's one of the reasons they've had some problems getting across. So while I think really both sides need a little bit more extra depth in attack if they're going to breach these defences.
Well, you're exactly right, Dave. What I'd like to see them do is do that little short kick in behind the line, or some more. They really need, both teams really need to use that second phase attack now because both sides are defending very well, so you've got to break that attack up. That's why you've got to keep that ball moving, and I think that's what they'll be looking at. But geez, I've been impressed by Tony Evans for the Clydesdale. He's defended very well, as we just see this little short ball there from Saunders, and this was a good opportunity for the Clydesdale to put some points on the board, but the West defence was just kept them out. But also Tony Evans has been impressed me for the Clydesdales, and Cameron Raper for West has been very good. He's worked himself to a standstill. So but all sides are playing well, and they've got to make the most of the opportunities. This next 10 minutes after half-time will make a real difference, David, I think.
That was a great passage of play that there by the Clydesdales as they tried to get across the try line. Of course, the Panthers' defence was desperate. The Clydesdales threw the ball around pretty well. Paul Sutton, since he's come on, has been pretty dangerous. He's a good player in open play, likes to move the ball around. It was all locked up at 2-2 with 1 minute to go up to half-time. And what a great field goal we saw here from the Clydesdales. Back into position. Hamlin, I think it was. He strikes it beautifully, knocks it over. That's given them the lead by 3 points to 2, the Clydesdales. And very importantly, a psychological advantage. Just that 1 point, but it's always nice to have your nose in front. I'm sure they'll put plenty of pressure on through their kicking game in the second half, but I just think that both sides need a little bit more depth in attack, and I think then we're going to get some tries in this second half. It is preliminary final. It's a chance for one of these sides, and only one, to go on to next week's grand final. Should be a good second half.
Do you want to play games?
It's an unreal idea!
It's not school.
Make it a match!
It's cool. For the hottest sports action.
Just watch.
School Sports. Check your TV guide and check it out.
Hi, I'm George Negus, and I'm foreign correspondent. Jane Hutchin goes for a stroll in Beijing with China's imperial past.
I've got the best guide of them all. A man who knows the Forbidden City like a child knows a playground. And his playmate was none other than the last emperor, Puyi. Now at 86, the last brother-in-law has a burning ambition to open a clinic to practice traditional medicine.
That's foreign correspondent, Tuesday at 9:30. See you then.
A chance to submit your views on the role and function of the ABC. Information about this process can be gained by writing to Mr. Bob Mansfield, ABC Review, PO Box 1873, Canberra 2601, by phoning 06285 6653, faxing 06279 1165, or email abcinquirer@mailhost.dca.gov.au. All submissions should be received by August the 31st. What would it take for you to switch on the TV midday Sunday? Gina Jeffries, a host of country music greats, or just the promise of a good time? There's all of these and much more in the Gympie Country Music Master, 12 o'clock Sunday.
Good afternoon and welcome to the Country Hour. I'm Georgia Bateman.
Informing and entertaining regional Australia.
We did a trip across to Adelaide about 2 years ago and we went through Renmark and Mildura and there was rabbits everywhere.
Here for a regional Australia.
Welcome back to our coverage of this match at Suncorp Stadium, and the other match happening this weekend is in the Brisbane Premier League, Easts against Brothers at Langlands Park, and it's on this afternoon. But virtually when this match is finished, it'll be underway, and of course we'll be following the Brisbane Premier League right through to the grand final after the completion next weekend of the Queensland Cup. The grand final of the Queensland Cup next week. Sybil makes a good run for Wests as they get the second half underway, and they're leading by 3 points to 2 as the ball is carted forward here now by Cameron Roper and caught about 18 metres short of the halfway line. So Wests, after trailing at half-time, would be looking to see if they can do something in this first half. Down on the sideline, Wayne Trelevin, the coach of the West team, is speaking with Wally Fullerton-Smith.
Well, Wayne, things are very tight in the first half.
Certainly are, Wal. I mean, it's a typical semi-final, but I think first to score next in this half is going to be in the box seat.
What have you said to them at half-time to try and break up the Clydesdale's defence?
Well, we're going to try and mix it up a little bit, a bit more than we have been, but I think the game's going to be won more on a little bit of guts, mate, and determination. It's just going to come down to which side wants it more, mate.
I think you're quite right, and both teams are defending very well. Limited opportunities in attack, but this next 10 minutes, I think, is really sort of will probably change the state of the game.
Yeah, I think you're right there, Wal, but if we can score the first, I'll be happy. So, I mean, whether it's a goal kick or whatever, I don't care.
Well, good luck, Trolley.
Thanks, mate.
Wayne Trelevin, the coach of Wests, and Toowoomba up to the 5th tackle, only just in West's territory at the moment. So we'll see the kick coming from Hamlin. It's been charged down by Jason Twist, but diving back onto it is Darren Lawson, and so Toowoomba come up with possession once more, and they're not all that far from the halfway either. So can Toowoomba get it into West territory and see if they can score the first points of the second half? Naturally, their coach Gary Lawrence would be wanting that as Mick Jenkins takes it across the halfway. Gary Lawrence is down with Wally on the sideline.
Well, Gary, as I was saying to Wayne Trelevin, things are very tight in the first half.
Oh, it certainly is. You know, looking at the stats here, we've had it for 12 minutes, 30 seconds. They've had it for 12 minutes, so it is a very close game, and the score reflects that.
And your captain, Don Saunders, has dislocated shoulder. That's a cruel blow.
It certainly is. You know, he's dislocated his shoulder. We've got a number of players there choked up with the flu and are really struggling at the present time. So it'll be a good team effort here if they can get away with this game.
Well, they've got a chance of getting the first try, and they do. Paul Sutton puts it down. So Toowoomba goes over for the first try of the match. And after they kicked that field goal just prior to half-time, that's the perfect start to the second half. And Toowoomba now leads by 7 points to 2.
Great work from Kuhneman out of the dummy half position. He created the opportunity. There he goes. He dashes out of there. I think it's Andrew Richards he puts into a gap. Richards takes a pretty heavy knock too, but manages to stay on his feet there. Spins out of that attempted tackle, and then Sutton, who's been very busy since he's come on the field, surges through to go in right beside the sticks. And the Clydesdales have got their first try and have extended their lead.
Yes, it was terrific work. Good backup support here. There goes Kuhneman dashing, and alongside him Richards. Now look at the strength of Richards and holding it up, and the support play of Paul Sutton. He was right alongside him, which made it easy for him as soon as he got his hands free. And so the try being scored there by Paul Sutton. And now Kyle Warren has the chance of converting it and putting Toowoomba further in front. They lead by 7 points to 2 now. Kyle Warren has had just one attempt and he got that. He's also been suffering from the flu, and he puts this between the uprights. And so Toowoomba lead by 9 points to 2.
This is great support play, this, Jerry and David. You know, I think it's this is where it's sort of won. There's desperation there. Great support there by Paul Sutton. And at that time when I was interviewing Gary Lawrence and they scored, the coach didn't show any sign of emotion. So it's a funny thing, coaching.
Well, he'll realise deep inside that was such an important six-tackle play, because on the other side of the coin, Ranger 11 had mentioned how important he felt it was and how much he would enjoy his side scoring first. That hasn't occurred, and the Clydesdales now have a handy lead of 9 points to 2. Now to bring it back out, that's Scanlon.
How important is that field goal look now at this present time?
Yeah, it gives them that extra buffer to while, doesn't it? And psychologically, that is really handy. Now they won't want to make any errors in their half, and they're not a side prone to error either. Sutton comes back nice. He finds Mickey Jenkins back on the inside. Passes up beautifully. The pass has gone forward though. It was up to Stenner just as the Clydesdales started to flex their muscles. The pass back on the inside, called I think by the touch judge. There's Jenkins. Look for support. Passed it up. Nothing in it. But the referee felt that Stenner had just marginally overrun it. The Clydesdales were looking dangerous. And
I think it's a good call by the referee.
The Panthers have breathed a huge sigh of relief. Sam Smith, now they realise they've got to start getting some tries up themselves. No use playing safety first, although there's a long way to go. And I'm sure we're going to see the Panthers open up their play just a little bit as well. Peter Liddell all on his own. Well, you won't open up your play if you get your 5'8" to take the first ruck. David Liddell, he said, I'll do it. I'll take it forward. That's my job. Fuller at dummy half. Oliver over the ruck again. Twist. There's Whelan. He's been a little bit quiet. Can't make the break. There's the fifth tackle as well. Good chance now for the Panthers. Twist. Hoists it into the air. This will come down awkwardly here. Yeah, up into the sun. There's Brown. Knocks it backwards. Picked up, though, by Stenner. Wasn't particularly well read by Jeff Slater, but it is an awkward situation with that ball coming cross field and coming out of the shadows into the sun. But once again, the Panthers, who I reckon have put up the ball 3 or 4 times in this match, the Clydesdales have ultimately handled it pretty well. Sutton, he's been Mr. Perpetual Motion since he's come on. Kuhneman, who's played well at dummy half. Looks on the outside. There's Hamlin. Gets a little bit more height than I think he really wanted, and that causes it to bounce up. Mitchell Hines there quickly to get a hold of it, but a good chase again from the Clydesdales to make sure he doesn't get a clear run. Good quick hands. There's out to Sam Smith. Bit of room to move. Smith likes to use the right-hand fend, but nicely underneath there was Jeff Slater to shut him down.
He had James Brown alongside him. It was surprising that he didn't get that pass away, because he did have a little bit of room to move, to at least make some territory.
Harris Watts now gets it to the 40. Anthony Seibold. Defence comes from everywhere to make sure he doesn't stand in the tackle. That's the fifth tackle. That seemed to come up almost far too quickly. Kick for downfield there, and it is a good one by Twist. Puts it right into the pocket, finds touch, and they'll bring about a scrum on the 10-metre line. There's Jason Twist. And even though they're behind, it's important that they take territorial advantage. You don't want a side like the Clydesdales to get good attack ball. If they're going to have it, give it to them with their backs at the wall.
It's more importantly, they've got to keep their composure, West, and not try and score off every set.
And no doubt they'll be trying to make sure that they pin Toowoomba down there as Kyle Warren can't get up to play the ball, and so Toowoomba just bringing it out, and again it's Sutton involved. He just seems to put his hand up for everything as it goes to Hamlin. Turned nicely back inside to Richards, but there's nowhere for him to go. Whelan making sure that he's flung to ground. Toowoomba just a little bit bunched here. Kane Spicer is able to get the one-handed pass away too. You guessed it, Sutton. Sutton had the one-handed pass ready to fly too if there was somebody alongside him. Kuhneman a dummy half. Back it goes to Hamlin for the kick. And, well taken there by Tony Devlin. So Wests get that ball back, but that was a good set of 6 for Toowoomba because they were pinned right down on their own line as James Brown goes across field, and he's picked off beautifully there by Hamlin.
He's had a good game, Hamlin. He had to make that tackle in and a marker as well.
James Brown getting involved as he did last week. He just came from everywhere off the wing. James Brown really wanted to be a part of it.
Dave Fuller there complaining that the Clydesdales were allowed to come in and flop onto the defending player, and I think he was right.
Good quick play the ball, and now good strong run by Liddell, and he gets the pass away as well. And so Wests are able to take it well into Toowoomba's territory, but they've gone into touch. Mitchell Hines forced into touch on the grandstand side there.
Hines he wanted somebody to support him there. He had the hand free to offload. He knew he was close to the touchline. Some good cover defence ultimately put him into touch, but the Panthers lacking support on the inside.
Yes, Craig Scanlon, the man with that tackle, which forced him into touch. Now Kyle Warren again makes the break for Toowoomba and is caught 8 metres short of the halfway. Good tackle by Alan Whelan, and how important was that tackle? Richards now, as Toowoomba really start to look like they're galloping the Clydesdales. They're leading by 9 points to 2. Now it's Sutton again. Takes the ball up and gets it about 12 metres into West's territory, so the West defence starts walking backwards again as Toowoomba really, they're lining up, they're arguing over each other for the ball, but they lose it, and Sam Smith comes up with it for the Panthers.
Well, we haven't seen that too often this afternoon, and that's unforced errors by the Clydesdales. I think almost the first time. They've been very tidy, they've been very disciplined in their play. Here go the Panthers now with a great chance on the outside. Why would you turn it back in there, though? Jason Twist and David Liddell, well, he's going to get a penalty out of this for stealing the ball by the Clydesdales. Interesting to see on replay whether or not he was actually trying to offload. There's another look at it. David Liddell there. He'd come back on the inside from Jason Twist. Well, certainly raked out there by Craig Scanlon, a good decision. Seabold there had to just angle his run a little bit more so he didn't overrun the pass. Good chance now for the Panthers. They trail by 9 points to 2, and there's 30 minutes to go in this preliminary semi-final. Whelan to play it. Twist on the left, goes back to the right-hand side, tries to step between the markers, then looks for Fuller, finds Fuller. There's Peter Liddell. Peter Liddell's got Sam Smith coming back on the inside. Smith tries to bump away, run out to Peter Liddell. He had support on the outside, didn't need it. Peter Liddell throws the ball in the air in elation. The Panthers have got their first try. After working away, they finally got a gap on the outside. The pass back on the inside to the big fellow, Sam Smith, allowed an opportunity then for Smith to go through the middle and then look back on the outside again to find Peter Liddell in good support.
Yes, it was terrific work. Jason Twist getting the pass away, and then there's Peter Liddell with the ball in the hand so that it could go anyway. Gets it to Sam Smith, the strength of Smith, getting the pass away to Peter Liddell. Liddell heads for the corner and puts it down for the try, and a try that West really needed.
Good work this from the Panthers. This is Jason Twist. Now, he looks like he could have been trapped there in the middle of the ruck, but he just gets his hands free, finds Fuller. Now, Peter Liddell doesn't get knocked to the ground here, goes back. Now, they should have taken him out there. If they had done Slater, or Slater I think it was, then Liddell would not have been in a position to back up. He was allowed to be kept on his feet. He backed up beautifully, and the Panthers have got their first try, and they've got it back to 9-6.
James Brown will have the conversion, so Peter Liddell, his third try of the season, and there won't be too many more important tries that he'll score in his life. And the Toowoomba team, after really starting to look like they were on fire and getting away to that 9-2 break, suddenly find that the game is much more level. James Brown then Have a good shot of him here, but as you can see, right out on the sideline. The speaker's there. He'll be speaking with his booth, looking to see if he can put it right between the uprights. Looks pretty good. It's a great kick by James Brown from the sideline. Successful. And now there's just 1 point in the preliminary final. Toowoomba 9 leading West 8.
Well, the key to this try is Jason Twist staying alive. And it's the way that Peter Liddell just delays that inside pass and stays alive to take the pass and score in the corner. Very well done try and good backing up.
We've certainly got a game on our hands now as Jason Twist knocks that one back in his own in-goal area. That'll boost the confidence of the Panthers. This fella's had a good game, David Liddell. He's run very strongly and made some good ground. Seabold. Another little bit of a break, a few little chinks showing now in the Clydesdales. And a penalty. And a penalty for holding down in that play the ball area or something. I think that the Clydesdales... Yeah, and they've been doing that a bit.
Interesting to see as well how when you score a try, just the confidence and the enthusiasm really comes back into a team.
Well, I certainly think the Clydesdales went up a gear as they came out in the second half, and West have matched them in that area.
This time Parrish Watts. Strong defence there, Sutton over the top and Jenkins underneath, but Jenkins is injured. The Clydesdales have lost their captain in Don Saunders. They could ill afford to lose one of their better players in Mick Jenkins. He's up to his feet though. They've got it to midfield, the Panthers. Twist once again goes back on that blind side. Looks for Peter Liddell this time. They're putting those passes together pretty well. Wheeland for a moment had his hands free but had no close support. Peter Liddell has had a good game. Out here to Twist. Twist finds Elliott. Elliott just can't quite slice between those two defenders. Jenkins was one of them and Slater the other. This is Peter Liddell out to Seabold. Seabold brushes out at one. Gets his hands free, pops it up to Mitchell Hines in a little bit of space is Hines. Hines tries to search back on the inside. Plenty of support out here now if they can get it. This is the fifth tackle. Will West run it on the fifth? Jason Twist decides to hoist it. It's not a good kick though by Jason Twist. Up goes Kyle Warren's been knocked back and knocked forward ultimately though by the Panthers, and that'll be a changeover. And once again a bit of pressure off the Clydesdales. They still cling to the lead of 9 points to 8.
And you really get the impression that Wests are starting to lift their gear. And of course, knowing that the fact that the flu has been ravaging Toowoomba during the week, you know that the last 15 minutes or so of this match might be tough on them. But certainly Paul Sutton is making sure that he keeps going. Kuhneman now from dummy half, and a nice offload to Hamblin. He's got support too in Richards. Richards taking the pass, and he's away. He can get it back to Hamblin. No, he can't.
Tackled by Elliott. Try saver.
So Toowoomba, Peter Stenner had to really dive forward to take that pass. And Toowoomba now just 15 metres out, and the big crowd of Toowoomba people who've come down have come alive. Kuhneman getting it away now from Kane Spicer over the top pass, and goes to Sutton again with a kick over the top. Can they regather anybody's ball? Chance for Toowoomba.
Play on,
play on and a try. Peter Stenner goes over. The referee checking with the touch judge.
The touch judge, I think, is unsure, so he's not going to be able to help the referee anymore. The referee's going to have to go by his own decision.
And that'll be a try to Stenner. Yes, it is.
What a passage of play that was. Sutton elected to put that kick in the air. It couldn't be handled in the in-goal area by the Panthers. The referee believed it was play on. The ball just sat there. There's a little chip over the top by Sutton. There were three Panthers here who got in each other's road. The ball there, well, not knocked on at that stage, flicked out the back door. Slater actually was claiming a try. The ball had gone on the ground, but back into the field of play. And Stenner picks up the ball and goes across. Let's have another look. This fella's had a terrific game, Kuhneman. The pass up quickly there by Murray. And this is be really worth looking at, Jerry, just whether the pass comes backwards.
Because if Slater is calling a try, well, that means that the ball hit the ground. And therefore it might well have been a knocker, but it doesn't seem to. It really does appear to be just flicked back into the field of play, picked up by Stenner, and it looks a fair try.
Sean Lawson, it actually was, who was claiming it. There's the kick, there's the kick. Hit the post. No goal. 13-8, so there's only 5 points in it with 22 minutes to go. What a preliminary final.
Well, the key to this is Paul Sutton's involvement's been tremendous. Since he's come on, he's been in everything. Nice little chip here, and look at the chase. They're all there everywhere. So if there's anything on, they've got plenty of men involved. Nice little flick back there, and well, you know, it's it's a funny one, that, but it's been awarded, and it's 4 points to the Clydesdales.
Looked a fair try for mine. Was flicked back, I feel, by Lawson. And as you say, Jerry, he claimed the try, but I guess when you're that close, you'll stick your hand up for anything.
Oh, of course you would. Exactly, especially in a game like this, where it's just now 5 points the difference, with Toowoomba in front, 13 points to 8. And after no tries in the first half, we've seen, 3 in the second half, and the game has certainly come alive. So they tested each other for 40 minutes, and now they're ready to see who's going to have the strength and the persistence to take it right through the full 80 minutes. Paul Sutton caught on the halfway line, and the kick now by Kuhneman, driving it down into West territory, and James Brown watches it go across the touch line, 22 metres out from the West line.
He's an outstanding game, the little dummy half. He's worn number 11 today, but he's played extremely well. His dummy half play has been very, very creative. He assisted one of the tries, the first try in the second half from Sutton, came from some good dummy half work, and he's done it on a number of occasions today.
Yes, I'm not exactly sure just how much dummy half work he's been doing, but I know that Mick Jenkins wasn't able to train very much this week because of the flu, and you just wonder whether Kuhneman might have stepped in there and they decided to stick with him, and it's certainly paid off.
Sure has. Jenkins has played well out in the open as well. Another man down, though, and it's Kyle Warren down for the Clydesdales. They're doing it tough.
Certainly are. In the meantime, Dave Aspin.
Oh, he's in trouble too, Warren.
Jason Twist holding up the pass. Sam Smith with room to move across the halfway. He goes. Brown stepping back inside. Lovely pass from Brown to Twist was forward.
Well, Sam Smith flicked that ball out. James Brown complaining to the touch judge. He thought it was okay. I don't think it was Brown's punt. Now, this is the one I think the referee's got him for, and I think he's right. That one, nothing wrong with that one from Brown, but the earlier one from Smith certainly floated forward. And here's a courageous effort. Don Saunders coming on. They said he had did they say he had a dislocated shoulder?
They certainly did.
I hope he's not pushing in that scrum.
Well, he didn't push too much.
I don't blame him.
Well, you don't push any more in scrums, do you?
Well, he's carrying that left shoulder, so Saunders has come on to steady the ship. They've got a lead of 13-8, and they've got more injuries. And Don Saunders will surely be only on there just to control the ship.
Richards Spicer coming off now as well. So, I mean, if they're in a situation where they've got to have injured players on the field, it doesn't look good for Toowoomba, even though they're leading by 13-8. But we've got 19.5 minutes left in the match.
This fella's had a good game too, and Cameron Hamlin. He's been dangerous in a good passing game. This time up to Saunders, pops that little pass up nicely. Ross Murray there just off the shoulder. That's the 5th tackle. Saunders, first receiver. Hoists it into the air. Not a particularly good kick, though. Decisions now here from Fry. Fry tries to bat it backwards. That's still the last tackle. Sutton does pretty well to get boot to ball and just put it out on the full. Unfortunate there for Sutton. He was in an awkward position as he put the boot to ball, and it just landed on the touchline. Of course, the touchline is out, and therefore the ball comes back to where the kick was taken.
But is there anything that Paul Sutton hasn't done? He was there to clean up the scraps there and to try to give them a chance of forcing it back towards West line.
Very busy player in Sutton, and he's all over the park.
Well, I think he's had a mighty game so far, and he's really sort of taken it to the western suburbs.
Valentine now takes it into Toowoomba's territory as West prepare to launch an assault. Jason Twist changing the direction, getting the pass out to Sam Smith. Smith through a break, up to the 20 he goes, and that's still alive as it came off the foot of James Brown, but Toowoomba come up with it, diving on the ball there, Sean Lawson, and now it's taken out by Jeff Slater.
He's really showing his wares, Sam Smith. That little pass back up. James Brown it was, got boot on ball. Desperate defence by Fry, playing on the wing, wearing number 7. Did start the game at half-back. Desperate defence to make the tackle.
Paul Sutton again taking the ball up for Toowoomba. Back now to Hamlin for the kick. To drive it deep down into West territory if he possibly can. But good position there, and getting back was Chris Elliott. And look at Elliott, straight through the defensive line.
Well, Saunders can't make a tackle. He just looks back to the bench and waves his hand in a horizontal motion to say, look, I'm wasting my time out here. Second time he's been somewhere near to make a tackle as a penalty goes to the Panthers, and he has just been incapable or no strength at all in the shoulder to make the tackle, and unfortunately he's going to have to endure a bit longer.
So James Brown kicks for touch.
No, he's going off now. Saunders off, and Jenkins coming on. Had to happen.
Seabold then for West's caught 30 metres out from the line. And also receiving attention in the background is Chris Elliott for West. But it's Dave Asplin taking it up almost to the 20. West getting dangerously close now. They're trailing by 5 points. Switching the direction, and a chance. Good strong run here by Valentine again. And he's caught just 8 metres out. Away to Jason Twist. Then on to Peter Liddell. He holds up the pass, and he's caught.
Should have passed it. There was a 3-on-2 man overlap if he could have popped the little one.
Smith offloading nicely to Valentine again. Just 5 metres out on the 5th tackle. There are plenty of players out there. Twist with a little kick through, and this will be Toowoomba's ball. Warren diving on it, and so the Clydesdales resist that attacking foray from Wests, and Richards brings it out.
They've scrambled well, the Toowoomba side. They've been under a fair amount of pressure themselves. There's been some kicks that have been put through, a couple on the ground, a few in the air. They've managed to stop those onslaughts by the Panthers. Once again, Sutton now fires the pass up there to Slater. Slater can't make that initial break though. Sam Smith's played strongly. Kuhneman pops the pass up. Toowoomba won't want to make any errors in this part of the paddock. 16 minutes to go in the preliminary final. Hamlin, who's kicked well, puts it over the head of Chris Elliott. He chased well in the first half. He is now being chased. And slips over and injures himself. He slipped into the legs there, unfortunately, of Craig Scanlon. A number of players have slipped on this very lush surface. Hopefully it's only winded. Here he is. Elliott slips, and there just into the leg. And unfortunately so into Craig Scanlon as he tried to bring the ball back from the kick downfield.
Actually, he did very well then, Craig Scanlon, because he took the mouthguard out of the player and rolled him on the side, which is the correct technique to use. So he's showing good sportsmanship there.
Good crowd, including that large contingent of people from Toowoomba to watch this match.
And Jerry, we got a letter during the week saying that we'd been mispronouncing Wayne Treleven's name. I just wonder whether that was you or Wally that have been mispronouncing it as Wayne Treleven, but apologies to Wayne.
Wayne said he didn't mind, actually. He said he can call him either way, but the actual correct pronunciation is Treleven, so it'll be Treleven from now on.
Tony Devlin coming down the touchline as Chris Elliott gets to his feet. He's still not real well.
He's had a tremendous game too, hasn't he, Chris
has.
Elliott? He's really played well for West, and it'll be disappointing for him.
There's the Toowoomba fans. And this has been one of the features of the Queensland Cup, the support the countrysides have got. And now Toowoomba are within 15 minutes, as the Panthers are, of making the inaugural grand final of the Queensland Cup. Redcliffe are there. They're sitting out this weekend, waiting to see who their opponents will be. And Toowoomba could it be the first countryside to make the final of this Queensland Cup.
And the more this looks like a battlefield, the more it'll suit Redcliffe.
Sam Smith again brushes away from Slater, looks back on the inside, finds support from Devlin. Devlin packs up in that defensive hit from some good strong defence from Tony Evans. Now the Panthers to throw it around. That's David Liddell. David Liddell almost gets through the line. That's the 5th tackle. Finally gets up to play it. Twist tries that little chip over the top, but it won't go far enough. Sutton does well, under enormous pressure from Peter Liddell. Snatches it out of the air, was actually spun around in mid-air there, and had to really hang on for dear life to make sure he didn't lose it. Well done from Sutton, showed the urgency that was demanded. Now the Clydesdales to try and bring it back out again. Russell Bowl. Kuhneman looks there for Evans. Tony Evans. He put in some great defence in the first half. Now Mick Jenkins, good right miss from Jenkins, straight up the middle, breaks 3 tackles, Valentine gets hold of him, that gives him a whack for good measure as well. Jenkins is down, Valentine's got away with it, no doubt in my mind Valentine came through with a swinging arm. There's Mick Jenkins, he's crook after what was a great break up midfield. Mick Jenkins broke 3 tackles. Here's Valentine, gets a hold of him, and whooshka. And he's down. The trainer's calling for assistance. Paul Oliver won't stop the game at this stage as David Liddell takes another charge forward. Mick Jenkins groggily tries to get to his feet. How one of the judges could not have seen that. The touch judges may come on, but it would be very unusual if they would allow the other side to get 6 tackles before coming on. I don't think they will. Now the Clydesdales will bring it back out. There are a couple of breaks being made as Sean Lawson skips through a few more attempted tackles. Clydesdales wanting to make sure they don't make errors inside their own territory. How'd you see the swinging arm, Well?
Yeah, well, he certainly got him a good one, didn't he?
Didn't miss him.
A tremendous break by Jenkins.
Now the Clydesdales to try and Kuhneman won't be trapped at dummy half. There's Sutton. Sutton gets the pass up. Good little break, this one by the big fella, and Russell Vole, the big man, just managed to stay in the field of play. Quick play the ball. They've got West rolling backwards. Stenner fires the pass out to Fry. There's Sutton. He's a good ball. And the pass straight to Mitchell Hines. Mitchell Hines, but he's offside. The Panthers are ropeable. But Mitchell Hines has been caught along with some of his teammates who never got back the 10 metres after the big fellow Vole made a good break down the right-hand side.
Yes, and well, the crowd coming alive. We've got 12 minutes left in the match, 13 points to 8 in favour of Toowoomba, and they have a chance of adding 2 more.
And what a vital 2 points they get too.
Exactly, because it'll put them 7 points clear, more than a converted try.
There's Sutton fading across there, and you would, well, we didn't see from that whether they were initially inside the 10, but you'd have to think that was probably the case. Certainly they had been rolled backwards by that good strong break from Russell Vole, and again it came because Kuhneman, who went out of dummy half, was caught by the marker for a moment, wouldn't say he would go to ground, popped the pass up. Sutton was there then to handle again, and then the big fellow Vole searched down the right-hand side.
Kyle Warren, this is a vital kick for Toowoomba. As he looks at the goal post, he can probably see the clock in the background.
Missed it.
He's missed it, okay. So there are still just 5 points in it. Toowoomba 13, leading West's 8.
Well, there's plenty still left in this match for West to get back into this match, but I don't think the Clydesdales are going to allow that.
Well, it's a fairly well injured Clydesdales as well. Kyle Warren taking the ball. Moving up very well there was Cameron Roper for Wests. And still the Clydesdales up into West territory they go.
Even though they're tired, they've still got some good deception at the back of the ruck there just to take the heat off the ball runners.
And they've got Paul Sutton too, who's doing everything, playing the ball at the moment. Now Evans. He's caught about 18 metres now in West territory. Will they use the ball this time? Peter Stenner has moved in close to the ruck, offloading goal, and then away to Slater. Slater moving, but can he get through the middle? Getting the pass away to Sutton, and now back forward. Goes to Fry, but forward, yes. And Tony Evans looks as if to say, well, he might not have got to the corner. There's Fry holding up the pass. And
that was try time for mine. Had that pass been allowed to go, the pass from Sutton up to Fry was flat enough for the touch judge to call it forward.
West are the team that really have to score. With 10 minutes to go, they're trailing by 13 points to 8. They're well in their own territory. Sam Smith, can he try to find a way through the middle? No, he can't. Look at the way that gap closed very, very quickly. Some very solid defence from Ross Murray. And now West get up to within 12 of the halfway. West really needing to score a try now as it goes to Jason Twist, and the nice offload to Parrish Watts. Still they're short of the halfway. The referee making sure that Toowoomba gets back, otherwise they could get a penalty against them for offside. Try knocked behind, left behind by Whelan. Knocked. 6 tackles to go is indicating.
The referee hadn't noticed the touch judge telling that the initial drag down by Whelan was actually knocked on. And of course, once that has been adjudicated on, there cannot be a restart of that tackle count. The Clydesdales now with a chance to get a bit of possession And to keep the clock winding down. Fry to put it in. Waits for it. They also use up precious seconds in there. Slater, who's dangerous in broken field, tries to get away from Sam Smith and does. Peter Liddell was in there to make the tackle along with Parrish Watts. Hamlin to Sutton. Mr. Perpetual Motion goes forward this time, and that was the play. Keeneman out of dummy half. Can't get away. Does pop it out the back door again. Lawson manages to get a hold of it. This is Sean Lawson. Sutton's a dummy half this time. Fires the pass out here to Murray. Murray hasn't got much on. That was a poor play, that one. It was a play for nothing. Dummy half Scanlon. Up to the big fellow in Vol. Gets it around about 14 or 12 metres out. Pass up there to Hamlin. Hamlin looks to kick, puts the kick through. This is play on. David Liddell. Well done by the big front rower. Blocked the kick initially with his legs and then chased through to get a hold of it. Turning point in the match as the Panthers now try and bring it back out. Valentine is slammed to the ground. He's got it to 30 metres out. Long pass, this one from Twist out to Peter Liddell. Sam Smith on the outside tries to make the break, but Slater gets a hold of him. James Brown, Peter Liddell, up to Whelan, he's been quiet. Chris Elliott can't get through the defensive line. The defence from the Clydesdales from both sides has been strong. Jason Twist tries a little run, chips it over the top. The bounce comes straight up to Lawson. Lawson gets a hold of it. And once again, the kicking play of West, I won't say it's been poor, but they haven't had the bounce they've been after, and it's been pretty well covered by the Clydesdales. There's been plenty of kicking, attack kicking by West, but they just haven't been able to get up with the restarts.
Murray takes it into West territory as Toowoomba try to maintain the challenge. Now Tony Evans, nowhere for him to go as Whelan ensures that he is slammed into the ground. Kuhneman a dummy half, he's got options both ways. Paul Sutton again offloading to Hamlin, and Hamlin has nowhere to go either. The clock ticking down. A little bit more than 7 minutes to go. Toowoomba 13-8. There's the fifth tackle. Kick through. Well taken by James Brown. This time he keeps it alive. Running across field. And is caught just after crossing the 20. So Wests, they've got all the pressure on them now. Mitchell Hines moving up very quickly to ensure that he went to ground. There was Paul Sutton again. Now it's Parrish Watts as they work up towards the halfway. A long way for them to go, though. Liddell again. He's played very well. He's lost the ball once more. And Toowoomba come up with it. Well, that was certainly disastrous for Wests.
David Liddell is right in the ear of Paul Oliver, the referee. He's complaining bitterly that that ball was stolen. How'd you see it from that side, Wal?
Well, I couldn't quite see it, David, so I can't comment on it.
Well, it was interesting the speed with which it came forward. You would have imagined that it would have had some sort of assistance somehow or other.
Well, it certainly flew out of that pocket.
Sure did. Kuhneman. Now this is Russell Bowl. Up to the 20-metre line he goes. If Toowoomba can score now, they might well seal their spot in the grand final. Away it goes to Peter Stenner and then on to Hamlin. Hamlin a nice offload. And I think it's Kyle Warren. It is Warren caught just 15 metres out from the line. They keep it going now. Evans has left it behind. And Bowl leaves it behind. Slater picks it up. And he stops still 15 short of the line. This is the fifth tackle now. Kuhneman with a kick into the in-goal area, but straight into the waiting arms of Chris Elliott.
Terrible kick that from Kuhneman. I've been rapping him all day about his very judicious play around the dummy half. He's kicked well on most occasions, but there, straight to the fullback along the ground. It was never on. And here's a penalty to the Panthers. This is the one they wanted. 5 minutes, a touch over 5 to go. Only 5 points in it. Why would you take a tap from there? There was 15, 20 metres on offer if they wanted to knock it in a touch. Seabold, they're wasting tackles, even getting the 15 metres that were there for them from the kick. Very slow to play the ball. He wasn't assisted. David Liddell's had a terrific game. David Liddell up the middle, finds Jason Twist. Twist pops it out the back to Parrish Watts. Has been knocked backwards. Couple of breaks starting to appear. Mitchell Hines. Defence there to cover him. Huge back line here for the Panthers. Fuller says, get off him, we want the ball. Jason Twist out to Peter Liddell. Sam Smith, he's quickly taken. No, he isn't. Out there to Valentine. Then Elliott gets a hold of it. Does well just to hang on. Good attack play from the Panthers. That's the fifth tackle. Peter Liddell in position. Out to Whelan. Looks like they're going to run it. Sam Smith. Sam Smith straightens it up. There's gaps here if they can get it out here again. Peter Liddell back into the middle, fires it up. The pass has gone forward. The Clydesdales get a hold of it. Good defence that from Toowoomba. Desperate. And now we've got 4 to go. The score 13-8 in favour of the Clydesdales.
Tony Evans takes it out for the Clydesdales. They've got to try and dominate possession and not let West near them, near their line. And actually, they've had territorial possession in the last 15-20 minutes or so. They are in their own territory at the moment as Kyle Warren plays it. And now just taking it forward is Ross Murray. Not with a lot of pace. Kuhneman. Offloading now, Mick Jenkins. Can he make it to the halfway? He's able to offload to Kuhneman and they can keep it alive now. Out to Craig Scanlon. Into West Territory he goes. He can get the one-handed pass away to Lawson. Lawson has Stenner on the other side. He doesn't need it. Lawson will go over and score underneath the goalpost and Toowoomba march into the grand final. Scenes of ecstasy out there, and why not? They have had to work very hard for this. They've copped lots of injuries along the way, but Toowoomba go to a 17-8 lead. A tremendous try finished off by Sean Lawson.
Beautiful work from Lawson, but once again, Mick Jenkins it was. He copped everything in this tackle, but he just managed to stay on his feet. Pops it out to Kuhneman. He'll always keep it alive, this fellow. Out then to the big fellow in Scanlon. Watch him do a little bit of a hit and spin here. Just brushes away from one. Could have been a forward pass, but it was juggled there by Lawson. He managed to get first touch while it was still in behind. Then you can juggle it, and away goes Sean Lawson to score the try that will seal it for the Clydesdales. We've got a Country City grand final in the first Queensland Cup match. 2.5 minutes to go, and it's 17-8.
Yes, Mick Jenkins there doing his weaving work, and now turning around, and Craig Scanlon, Sean Lawson now also. Stenner is following him through, and we might not see it on this replay, but Stenner was grabbed from behind by a West player as well as Lawson went across to score the try. And look at the delight on his face as well. So Sean Lawson scores the try that wins the preliminary final for Toowoomba and takes them into the grand final against Redcliffe. We've still got 2 minutes left, of course, but it's now beyond Wests. Kuhneman lines up the conversion attempt. And puts it through. And so Toowoomba lead West by 19-8.
This is the way you break up good defence, by good support play. Just keep the ball moving. And as we see here, beautiful backing up here. And nice offloads. And away we go here. It's all over when Lawson grabbed that ball. He saw that line straight ahead and away he went.
What a great final we had, especially the second half. And we think it was just head-to-head up to half-time, 3 points to 2 at half-time. And then we've seen some great attacking play in this second half, worthy of a final and fairly typical of the standard of football we've seen in the Queensland Cup this year. It's been an outstanding success, and we're going to have an outstanding final. I would suggest the two sides that have made it are the two best in the comp. I believe Redcliffe have got some great talent in their squad of 17, and Toowoomba, minor premiers. They deserve to make the final, but of course deserve doesn't really count when you've got another team up against you who they believe deserves to be there as well. Been a terrific game, this one, and Toowoomba will face the Dolphins next week here at Suncorp, next Saturday, and also on ABC TV. Only seconds remaining now, and the Panthers, it really doesn't matter. James Brown has knocked it on, but it doesn't matter, because the score is 19-8. There's only seconds remaining. It's unlikely the scrum will pack.
Well, actually, David, I think that Gary Lawrence has done a tremendous job with Toowoomba, and so has Wayne Treleaven, the Western Suburbs, so they can both hold their heads high.
And without Donnie Saunders, who got injured too, a terrific effort here by the Clydesdales. They won it. They're in the final. They won it 19-8.
Yes, a terrific performance. Kyle Warren there. He was one of the ones suffering from the flu, a lot of them. Cameron Hamblin, a tremendous game at 5/8. Jason Twist, you have to feel sorry for Jason Twist. Andrew Richards was probably fairly quiet in this preliminary final. And, of course, West having to play as well without Shane Vivian, so that both teams lost their captains, Shane Vivian before the match and Donnie Saunders, and both, of course, wearing the number 13. But the Toowoomba Clydesdales, what a performance as Don Saunders comes out to join his teammates, and well-earned applause, too, for that large number of Toowoomba people who came down to be a part of this victory by the Clydesdales, and they'll be booking their tickets to be back next week, too.
Yeah, well and truly a deserved round of applause there. West did get back to 9-8 in the second half when Peter Liddell scored a good try, but then Stenner got that fluky one when the ball went into the in-goal area, got popped back out the back door. Stenner dived across to score the try, and then, of course, that last try by Lawson, it put it beyond doubt in the 38th minute, because really up until that stage the score had been 13-8.
Yes, let's go down to the man of the match, Scott Kuhneman, and he's with Wally Fullerton-Smith.
All right, Scott, well, congratulations. You're our ABC man of the match, and what a win.
Yes, Wally, it was great stuff from the boys today. It was really against the wall stuff. Everyone dug deep and defended really well.
Well, certainly the support's here. I mean, 6 buses down from Toowoomba is tremendous.
Yeah, they've supported us all year, these crowd, and that's why we thank them after every game. It's great stuff, yeah.
And you must be happy with the way the Clydesdales have gone this year, particularly coming to for the first final for the Queensland Cup, and you're there.
Yeah, it's a great effort from all the boys, from everyone concerned, and the crowd really pulled us along there today, and the players will be there next week, and I'm sure we'll give it a good account of ourselves.
Well, certainly it's not over yet, and next week's the big one, and all the best.
Thanks, Wally. Thank you. Thanks, ABC.
Congratulations. Make it on you.
Yes, a terrific performance by Scott Kuhneman, and remember that there's also a game on this afternoon between Eastern Brothers, the Brisbane Premier League, and of course, as we were saying earlier, we'll be following that competition through to the grand final after we have next week's grand final of the Queensland Cup. But it really has been a terrific performance by Toowoomba to make it through to this final. And let's go down to the winning coach, Gary Lawrence, and David Wright.
Gary, well done. Congratulations. The boys played extremely well.
Yes, David, they did. They performed very well out there today. It was a great game of rugby league, 3-2 at half-time, and who would have thought it would have been a great support that we had here from the Downs. And, mate, it was a great game of rugby league, and Queensland Rugby League can be proud of this statewide competition.
Mate, I think what epitomised the effort of your players today was your skipper, Donnie Saunders, went out there. Obviously, the shoulder in trouble in that second half, but you needed just all men on deck, and Donnie Saunders got out there and just tried his best, but couldn't hang in.
Certainly, Don had 3 painkillers at half-time to try and get him through the game, and did struggle when he did take the field, and he didn't want to let the side down any further than what he had already by missing 2 tackles. But it was a great effort by 17 men. We have a great squad of 25 players on the Downs, and they worked very hard. We had a number of players in bed with the flu this week, and with glandular fever, it was a great effort by these boys to get out of bed and give a great account of rugby league here.
Gary, I thought tactically use of Kuhneman at dummy half and Mick Jenkins in the back row worked well.
Well, it's something we've worked on this year. We had Michael Jenkins, the Queensland Country hooker this year of 1996, and Scott Kuhneman was the 1995 country hooker. So we're blessed with hookers in the Downs at the present time. So we've got to work around, and we've got a great bunch of guys.
Well, congratulations for making the final of the inaugural Queensland Cup. We look forward to a great game next week.
Thank you very much.
Yes, a terrific performance by Toowoomba, and Gary Hargraves himself has to take, Gary Lawrence rather, has to take quite a deal of kudos for that performance through the year. Just looking at those full-time statistics then, the penalties favouring the Clydesdales by 9-6. The scrums were pretty even. The errors, well, there weren't too many errors in the match as a whole, and look at the amount of tackling that the Panthers ended up having to do. And time in possession favoured the Clydesdales, time in the opposite half the Clydesdales.
Yeah, that extra bit of possession, Jerry, didn't he? And that was so important. I mean, the game was really in the balance up until the last dying minutes. At 13-8, the Panthers just had to get in 1 try. They couldn't do it. They needed a converted try. They couldn't do it. And as it turned out, it was the Clydesdales who actually came up with that late try. But there were some very good tries in that second half. And that one by Sutton was only a couple of minutes old, the second half. Some good play up the middle of the ruck. Richards went very close.